Every year, Scotch whiskey prices quietly climb higher across global markets, while flavor quality often moves aggressively in the opposite direction instead. The biggest whiskey corporations understand something most casual drinkers completely miss. Most consumers buy labels, not the actual liquid inside bottles anymore. That is why famous distilleries continue raising prices without improving whiskey quality significantly. Some brands even reduce flavor intentionally for broader mainstream consumer appeal. Lower alcohol percentages create smoother whiskey for inexperienced casual drinkers worldwide. Chill filtration removes texture and oils while making whiskey visually cleaner on shelves. Caramel coloring standardizes appearance regardless of natural barrel variation underneath everything. A corporate whiskey prioritizes consistency, scalability, and profit margins over authentic character today. And somehow consumers continue paying luxury prices for watered-down whiskey every single year. Today, we are exposing 7 Scotch brands massively overcharging loyal whiskey drinkers everywhere. Then, we will reveal 7 bottles outperforming them for significantly less money, because some smaller distilleries still prioritize flavor over marketing department decisions today. Let us begin with the Scotch brands draining wallets without delivering proper value. Singleton 12 perfectly represents modern corporate whiskey production philosophy worldwide today. The brand itself is not even one real distillery location originally. Diageo created Singleton using whiskey from multiple separate distilleries simultaneously worldwide. The different countries receive entirely different whiskeys hidden behind identical packaging designs. Asia receives Glen Ord, while Europe receives Dufftown whiskey bottlings instead. North America receives Glendullan, creating 3 completely different flavor experiences globally. Yet every bottle carries identical branding and nearly identical marketing language worldwide. Everything gets bottled at 40% with heavy industrial chill filtration applied. Artificial caramel coloring darkens appearance, making whiskey seem older than reality naturally. Corporate executives describe Singleton as approachable because bland whiskey sells easiest internationally. At $50, consumers purchase consistency instead of genuine distillery personality anymore. Next comes Bowmore 12, one of Scotch whiskey's greatest wasted opportunities today. A Bowmore produces genuinely excellent spirit before corporations aggressively process everything afterward. Independent bottlers constantly prove Bowmore spirit tastes incredible without heavy manipulation techniques. But official releases arrive watered down, filtered heavily, and stripped of texture completely. Some drinkers praise Bowmore, while others compare it directly to burnt plastic. That inconsistency destroys trust faster than almost anything else inside whiskey communities. At $50, consumers receive weakened versions hiding the distillery's true potential entirely. Then there is Talisker 10, formerly one of whiskey's easiest recommendations worldwide. Sea salt, black pepper, smoke, and coastal character built Talisker's legendary reputation. But prices exploded while whiskey quality quietly started slipping behind consumer expectations recently. And 5 years ago, Talisker cost $50 in most international whiskey markets. Today, many stores aggressively price identical bottles closer toward $80 instead. The liquid barely changed. Corporate pricing strategy changed dramatically behind everything instead. Modern Talisker bottlings increasingly feel softer and less exciting than previous releases. Smaller distilleries now offer similar coastal whiskey styles for dramatically cheaper prices. Talisker remains good whiskey, just nowhere near worth modern pricing anymore today. Balvenie Doublewood 12 follows the exact same dangerous premium pricing strategy today. The whiskey itself remains enjoyable with honey, vanilla, and dried fruit flavors. Traditional malting floors and coopers create strong artisanal branding for Balvenie worldwide. But nostalgia and reputation now inflate prices far beyond actual whiskey quality. This bottle once represented affordable luxury for everyday Scotch whiskey drinkers globally. Now stores charge nearly $80 for almost exactly the same whiskey. Consumers are paying heavily for Balvenie's reputation instead of improved liquid quality. Then there is Glenlivet 18, where mainstream name recognition becomes painfully expensive worldwide today. At $100, consumers deserve natural presentation and higher alcohol percentages minimum. Instead, Glenlivet delivers chill-filtered whiskey carrying artificial coloring and safe flavors. Reviewers constantly describe it using words like pleasant, smooth, and approachable repeatedly. Those descriptions sound positive until you remember this costs nearly $100. And smaller distilleries offer more character, texture, and authenticity for identical pricing today. Oban 14 follows closely behind with another example of reputation-based whiskey pricing strategies. Diageo repeatedly increased prices while reducing much of Oban's original coastal character. Even whiskey enthusiasts openly recommend cheaper alternatives within Diageo's own portfolio today. And finally, there is Glenfiddich 18, the perfect symbol of modern corporate Scotch whiskey. $150 for heavily filtered whiskey bottled near legal minimum strength. Critics increasingly describe modern Glenfiddich 18 releases as thin and diminished overall recently. Ironically, Glenfiddich's cheaper 15-year bottling consistently receives stronger consumer reviews worldwide today. When cheaper bottles outperform premium releases, something fundamentally failed inside corporate strategy. That is the overpriced list, famous whiskeys charging luxury prices without luxury quality anymore. But smaller distilleries are quietly proving incredible Scotch still exists for reasonable money. Tomatin 12 immediately demonstrates what honest Highland whiskey should actually taste like today. Baked apples, cinnamon, vanilla, and butterscotch create incredible warmth throughout every sip. No massive advertising campaigns means lower prices and fewer unnecessary marketing markups worldwide. Even Tomatin's cask strength releases outperform many mainstream luxury Scotch bottles easily. Then there is Glengarioch 12, bottled properly with real texture and weight intact. 48% alcohol instantly creates richer mouthfeel than watered-down corporate whiskey alternatives. Sweet porridge, baked pears, and coastal salt create unforgettable whiskey complexity naturally. Benromach 10 brings gentle smoke and deep character rarely found inside modern Speyside whiskey. Independent bottler experience gives Benromach far more personality than mainstream competitors worldwide today. Then comes Benriach 12, completely rebuilt and transformed into serious modern Scotch whiskey. Port casks add dark fruit and chocolate flavors rarely found this affordably anywhere. Deanston 12 might be the most honest whiskey bottle available worldwide today. Natural color, non-chill filtered, 46% alcohol, and genuinely affordable pricing everywhere. This bottle embarrasses many premium brands charging double the price without shame today. Glen Scotia 15 proves Campbelltown whiskey still carries uniquely maritime regional character today. Sea salt, oily texture, dried fruit, and endless finish create unforgettable whiskey experiences. Prices remain surprisingly reasonable despite whiskey communities increasingly recognizing Glen Scotia's quality worldwide. And finally, there is Craigellachie 13, one of Scotch whiskey's greatest hidden gems today. While mainstream distilleries chase smoothness, Craigellachie proudly embraces strange, heavy character instead. Worm tub condensers create thick spirit loaded with texture and savory complexity naturally. Tropical fruit, toasted hazelnuts, smoke, honey, and richness explode from every sip powerfully. Everything arrives non-chill filtered, naturally colored, and bottled properly at 46%. And this is what happens when distilleries prioritize whiskey instead of shareholder expectations annually. The truth about Scotch whiskey becomes painfully obvious after enough serious tasting experiences. Big corporations often protect quarterly profits more aggressively than actual whiskey flavor today. Meanwhile, smaller distilleries quietly create better Scotch without massive celebrity marketing campaigns worldwide. Stop buying labels designed inside corporate boardrooms focused entirely on consumer psychology tactics. Start buying whiskey created by people genuinely obsessed with flavor and character instead.